Hello there, welcome to another episode of Gotham Talk. We're into episode 10 of season 2, and this one is called The Son of Gotham. This sees Galavan going to trial. They've got the former mayor, and he's basically the smoking gun who's going to name names, basically going to point the finger at Galavan and case wrapped up. Except he doesn't. Of course he doesn't. He obviously has been conditioned. Galavan's done a number on him, and he accuses Penguin. Galavan gets to walk free. On top of that, we've got these monks who, we saw them in the last episode. They've kind of come into Gotham to kind of work out Galavan's plan. This is all part of Galavan's plan. Some kind of religious ritual to cleanse the city. It is, as I imagined from the previous episode, it is the Order of Saint Dumas, which, like I say, I knew Azrael comes into this series at some point, I think this season, in fact. I'm glad we have the Order of Saint Dumas. I'm a big fan of Azrael, the original Azrael from the comic books. So I'm kind of happy to see at least some version of his comic book lore coming to the screen. Where they go with it, I have no idea, but it's nice to see. On top of that, we've got Bruce finding out just exactly what kind of person Silver St. Cloud is, but he finds that out through rather devious methods, it must be said. He tricks her, makes it look like they've been kidnapped and they're torturing him to learn what Silver St. Cloud knows, but actually he's orchestrated the whole thing to find out what she knows, and she doesn't give up anything when he's getting hurt, but when it looks like she's going to get hurt, she does. And we learn that apparently the name of the man who killed Bruce's parents is M. Malone, as in Matches Malone. It's got to be, hasn't it? If you're a fan of the comic books, you'll know who that is. It's an alter ego of Batman's. When he's not dressed as Batman and he's not Bruce Wayne and he's hitting the streets trying to work criminals for information, he dresses as this guy called Matches Malone. So having that M. Malone in there, it's a nice touch, got to say. I'm interested to see where they go with it, because as far as I'm aware, it's just an alternative identity for Bruce, for Batman. With all that, how does this episode kind of do? How does it fare, really? Well, I gotta say, bloody good. This is a really good episode. The best in the season since the one I really loved with Jerome in. Everything that's going on really is handled beautifully. Normally, even in good episodes, like I think we had this last episode, even in good ones, that there'll be something about it that I'm not too keen on, or something that's a bit meh. But this, nothing. Everything in it I really loved. It's got some majorly kick-ass moments in it. Alfred gets to kick some ass. I always love episodes where Alfred gets to kick some ass. If you've followed me the whole way on this journey, you will know that by now. If Alfred gets a scene where he gets to kick ass, or just be a badass, that's gonna excite me. And he does that in spades in this episode. He gets to fight Galavan's sister Tabby, and he holds his own, but he does come away with some nasty scars, it must be said. That was a really good fight sequence, very well orchestrated, I think. And we also get a really good one with Gordon and Galavan, in which Galavan hands Gordon's ass to him, it must be said. This is kind of the first moment in the series where Galavan shows his true colours, I guess. And I mean, we know he's evil, we know he's like a bad guy, but he's always kind of backed out orders. He's always got other people to do his dirty work for him. It's always appeared that he's the brains of the outfit while his sister is the muscle. And it turns out that's really not the case. This guy knows how to handle himself. And when we see this, Gordon knows how to handle himself. He's taken down some pretty tough cookies, it must be said. So we have this moment when Gordon is trapped. His hands are tied, and Galavan's got these men with him, these two goons. And it was at that point where I was thinking, this is probably going to be the moment in the episode where I'm like, because Galavan's going to do one, and then Gordon will somehow get out of the trap because the stupid officers will get too close to him, and he'll use his legs, hook him around the neck, and get out, and it'll just be like, yeah, cliche, whatever. Those guys are dumb for getting that close. But not at all. Galavan literally just says, you know what? I got a few minutes to kill. Untie him. Let's go a few rounds. And then he proceeds to literally kick Gordon's ass, which makes you go, oh, okay, this guy really is a badass. Not just an evil megalomaniac. He knows how to handle himself. So that was a really cool moment. Not if you're a fan of Gordon, because it's quite hard to see him take a beating, especially knowing how tough he is. But yeah, I liked that moment. Then Galavan does do a runner, does do a bunk, leaves Gordon to these guys, and Gordon is only saved by Penguin, who has found out that Galavan has been freed, so now he's obviously on the warpath, seeking vengeance for his mother once more. So yeah, all that stuff, really loved. The investigation at the beginning of the episode, like the first half of the episode with Gordon and Bullock going into the sewers to try and find these monks, which leads them to discovering that they are the Order of Saint Dumas. All that stuff I really liked as well, because again, if you know me by now, watching these episodes, I like it when Gordon and Bullock are out together, usually because Bullock is just really funny. And yeah, he comes out with a few choice singers. So all that stuff, really great. Like I say, the plot with Bruce gaining the information from Silver St. Cloud, that again, I really loved. David Mazouz actually, owning it in this. He's becoming a man, so to speak. He's getting ever closer to becoming that kind of guy who you would believe would become Batman. And there's a little moment actually just after he's kind of spilled the beans to Silver and revealed that he orchestrated the whole thing, and he turns and walks away, just like he says his piece, turns and walks away, and the way that he turns and walks off, I genuinely believe in that moment that Bruce is a badass. I love the way he handles that. So props to David Mazouz for that. And once again, I got to say to Cameron by Cordova, the two of them, I love seeing the two of them together and seeing both of them come together to kind of thwart Silver in this episode. I got to say that kind of touched a few of my fancy spots as well. I don't know who says that, and it sounds a bit weird, but there you go. I've said it. I can't unsay it. What else? We've got the final thing in the episode, I guess. I will say one more moment with Bruce and Selina, actually, is their final moment, in which Bruce tells Selina what he'd whispered to Silver, and he says it was the truth, but it just wasn't about Silver, meaning it was about you, Selina. And I really liked that moment. It was very touching. And what was also touching was just as Selina is leaving, she says that she's happy that she says, "I'm happy you're changing, Bruce, but just don't change too much." And I liked that moment. I really did like that moment. Just the fact that she recognises the good in him, the part of his character that maybe once she might have mocked, scoffed at, or whatever. She actually thinks is a good thing. She actually, she loves that about him, as much as she might mock it at times. So yeah, really good moment. The final thing about the episode is really going back to Penguin and Enigma. The Penguin's still staying at Enigma's house, and he's on the phone to Enigma every 5 seconds, asking for this, asking for that. Why doesn't the toilet handle work, or whatever it is? And they just come across like an old married couple. You think of the scenes in the last episode when they were talking on Enigma's bed. And now, it just feels like they're talking to each other like some old married couple. But yeah, those scenes, again, add a bit of levity to proceedings. But I loved this episode. I have nothing to fault this episode on. So obviously, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5. But what about you? Have you seen this episode? What did you think about it? Comment below, let me know. And until next time, crack in.